This is Pittsburgh Music Magazine. We're here with Evan from Invidia.
Hello.
Good to see you again, my friend.
Good to see you too.
It's been a few years.
It has.
Yeah. Let's talk a little bit about what's gone on
Sure.
in those years. I'll go back to some of the other stuff, but let's talk first off. You were on a tour with Invidia, were you not?
Yeah, the Hellraiser Tour, like October and November last year. I was singing and playing keyboards in a band called VYCES, some good friends of mine, and we did that tour. And Travis, the lead singer of Invidia at that time, he also plays bass guitar for In This Moment, so he couldn't commit to doing both of them. And on that tour, the Hellraiser Tour, we had talked maybe briefly about it, about possibly filling in here and there if Travis wasn't available. And then that evolved to, hey, we want you to come on full time. And, you know, prior to VYCES, I had been fronting bands for 10, 11, 12 years, so when I got the opportunity to do it, I just hopped all over it. You know, I didn't really have to think twice about it. I wanted to be back in front, you know. Not that I didn't like VYCES, the music was great, I loved the guys, you know, but just something told me that I wanted to get back in front.
Yeah. So was the departure with VYCES, were they cool with all of this?
Yeah.
Were they supportive?
Yeah, absolutely. I've known those guys for close to 10 years. I lived with Russ, the drummer, for a couple of years. You know, I know those guys really well, and they knew exactly why I needed to do it. Yeah, it's all good. We still hang out and stuff for sure.
So you're on a pretty jam-packed tour with some pretty killer bands, some legends. Tell us about your experience so far.
It's been cool. I mean, everybody's, you know, coming into this tour, you know, you kind of think, you know, old school thrash metal, you kind of have I guess a thought of how these guys are going to be, and it was anything but that. You know, all the guys have been really cool. I mean, Bobby came up to me the first day and introduced himself to me. You know, like didn't even know who I was. Just said, "Hey, I'm Bobby." You know, it's like on his way going to sound check. Very, very cool. They're all very nice. The crowbar guys are all really nice too. You know, just the guys are intimidating. You know, you look at it and stuff, but they are really genuine guys. You know, we're sharing gear and stuff on stage to make the loading in easier and everything. And the Havoc and the Blackfest guys, you know, they're newer bands from the past few years, but they're killing it. They are, you know, they're playing it just like the legends are. And everybody's real cool. Everybody's been really easy to work with.
Very cool. I've kind of watched some of your progression here. We met years ago at Mayhem. Mm-hmm. That time you were with a band called Thrown Into Exile. Can you talk a little bit about what happened there?
Yeah, you know, we did that tour on Mayhem, Thrown Into Exile. We got in the studio with Augustus Crimes and started recording what would have been the debut album, Thrown Into Exile. We got about 4 or 5 songs into the record, and Mario didn't like the direction because we were starting to add some programming, starting to add some stuff that he didn't really like, that wasn't what he had in mind when he originally kind of put Thrown Into Exile together. He wanted to keep it a little bit more organic, a little bit more thrash. And we just, you know, he decided just to part ways, and he was going to continue on with the band name, and the rest of the 4 of us continued on and started a new band called GRIMACE, which was like a post-apocalyptic metal band. Very, very extreme, like Mad Max style. Like, I'm sure you probably saw the videos.
Oh, I saw the videos. I actually reviewed the record.
Yeah,
you sent me an early release.
Yeah, so it was cool. It was short-lived. It lasted a little bit over a year. We had played Wasteland Weekend, which is an up-and-coming kind of a smaller Burning Man in California City, California. So we played there, the opening ceremonies on that weekend, which was awesome. It was out in the middle of the desert, you know, pyro and everything was cool. And then we played a show at Loaded in Hollywood, and then we did 2 national spots at Tosh Pointo, and that was the end of the band.
We went out on top.
Yeah.
What was it like being the house band for Tosh Pointo?
It was interesting. You know, it's not like some of the other bands. They kind of wanted to do it where, you know, guys like Jimmy Fallon, you know, their band has all the room in the world on their stage, so they wanted to take a completely extreme band and put them in the very corner of the stage and just make it look completely awkward that these guys are monsters, but they're, you know, in the corner of the studio. So, you know, Daniel came in, and, you know, we're up doing our bit, and he comes in and just throws his head back and starts laughing, like, this is exactly what I wanted, this is fucking hilarious. So we just sat down and just watched us do our bit. We were in there for about 30 minutes and we were done. But it was cool, you know. It was cool. We actually didn't even really get to meet Daniel. You know, he was in. When I looked over at him during the performance, he was just kind of looking at a spot on the floor, and I'm pretty sure he was just kind of making sure the bits were funny and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he knew how it looked. He just wanted to make sure the audio was good too. So it was fun.
So living in Hollywood, you have some pretty cool experiences. You've done some acting gigs. You're a well-known bartender there when you're not on the road. Can you tell me about your acting gigs first?
Yeah, for sure. Let's see. Well, it's kind of funny. I was bartending at the time when I got this. I got a gig as a bartender in a movie called Why Him with James Franco and Bryan Cranston. And I was bartending at a bar in Hollywood, and one of the regulars that came in there, I didn't know it, but he was a pretty big casting director. And we never really talked about that when he came in. And then I came in one day to work, and my coworker was like, "Hey, so-and-so came in. Here's his card. We wanted you to." He said he had a part in the movie for you. He was a bartender, and they were talking about the look of the director, and he thought of you. So just send him if you have a headshot. He didn't even know if I was an actor or not. He's like, "If you have a headshot, just email it to me." So I emailed him it and a little bit of resume that I had, and a week later I get a call from the director. They're like, "Yeah, direct booking. They want you for it." You know, so we shot at 20th Century Fox, like on a big sound stage over the course of like 5-6 days. You know, and in scenes that, like, I didn't have any dialogue, but I was in scenes with Bryan Cranston and stuff at the bar, and he was like genuine, like, father figure, like really, really cool, down-to-earth guy. And then that led to, you know, at that same time, I was joining Invidia, and I was on the Hellraiser Tour. Matt, with the bass player, he saw the Why Him thing, and he's like, "Hey, I don't know if you have an agent or not, but like my mom, you know, she actually is CEO of so-and-so, you know, of an agency out in Hollywood, and if you want like a meeting with her, I'll gladly hook you up with her information." So I emailed her, I went and met with her, and then she, again, very little resume, but went and met with her, had Why Him on the resume and a few other things, Tosh Pointo and some other stuff, and so she signed a few-year contract with me. Within that next week, I went on 2 different auditions, and I got one of them for a series for Hulu, which will be coming out early next year. I signed an NDA, so I can't necessarily talk about what the contents of it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, pretty cool and pretty awesome to get something so soon.
That's pretty cool.
So it's a blast, man. You know, I live in West Hollywood. I live in the heart of it all. And I don't want to limit myself to just doing like one thing.
Yeah,
You're there, I figure why not do it.
So obviously, you know, your bartending gigs have helped you with acting. How has it helped you in the music business?
Very much, a lot. You know, bartending for close to 15 years in Los Angeles, which I'm done now, by the way. I switched industries when I'm not actually touring. I'm a budtender.
I was going to talk about that. Yeah, the
Budtender. I am
budtender.
now a budtender. I switched industries out there, and you know, it's cool. I work for, you know, a company now that allows me to go on tour, and when I come back, I just give them a little bit of notice when I'm coming back, and they put me right back on the schedule. So it's like the first time in 15 years that a company has actually been willing to work with a touring schedule. You know? And I get that as a company. I'm not going to let an employee come and go as they please, but they're really cool, and you know, it's been a lot of fun. But as far as bartending is concerned, you know, 15 years of serving everybody across the board. You know, you're kind of not forced into situations, but like just talk to anybody.
Yeah.
You know? So when you're out here and, you know, I'm at the merch booth or I'm up on stage and I'm talking to a crowd of people that, just like when you're on the bar, you know, as soon as you get on the bar, like you're on. Like, you know, the camera's on, whether it's physically there or not. So it's the same way on stage. And so I just try to take those things and apply it to on stage and vice versa.
And you were at the House of Blues, which is sadly no longer there.
Finally. Not finally, but it's like it was almost 2 years ago that they closed the doors for it and, you know, sent everybody home with their last paycheck. But it was just only a couple weeks ago that they finally demolished it.
Yep.
It sat there forever. They just passing it every time, being like, "Oh man, like it's still there." And then a friend of mine saw like a live feed of it, a big bulldozer coming in and demolishing it. But I was glad I was able to at least get there for the last couple of years. There was 21 years of that House of Blues being on the strip right there.
Yeah.
So to be there like the last year and a half or so, it was cool to just catch the tail end.
Yeah, absolutely. So this Budtender gig, do you have to go to like different festivals and talk to people, or you just kind of work with their inventory?
It's interesting. this place, it's called Medmen. And it's there's 5 dispensaries in Southern California. There's four that are opening up in New York, Pennsylvania, Nevada. They're trying to be one of the first chain of real big dispensaries and cultivation salons as well. I had been trying to get in that industry for a long time, and just without any real success. So I saw the MedMen ad, and I emailed careers at MedMen like 5, 6, 7 times. Just kept emailing them every few days to check up. And I was on tour with VYCES in Seattle, and I got a call from MedMen. I did a preliminary phone interview, which got invited to a group interview at the actual shop in West Hollywood. And from that group interview, I was one of the 3 that got hired on that interview. So there's a couple different, there's the Budtender spot, and there's also like a product processing spot, which is, I kind of do both. And being such a new company and a growing corporation, they're constantly like moving people up from within and stuff like that. So it's cool, man. I mean, I've been using cannabis for quite some time. There's a lot of medicinal value to it. There's, especially with the new direction of CBD and stuff like that, driven rich products. We're set up in an all-glass front retail store. There's no behind bars or anything like that. It's like walking into the Apple store. It's comfortable, it's inviting. We get all walks of life in here, and we get to talk with people about something that I've loved for years. So it's a really cool gig, and it's something to pull extra cash in between tours.
Absolutely. Obviously, you're very busy on this tour. You've got a lot of things going on, but you had a solo project going on.
Yeah.
What's going to happen with that?
Yeah, I don't know. I was after GRIMACE had ended, I decided just to continue going in the studio with Gus and just paying for sessions on my own and writing music with him. And started Evil Dread and did a couple songs and had my friend Ron Underwood from 9 Electric shoot a music video. And it came out killer. It was all really, it was fun. But then at that time, that's when I got asked to join VYCES. I just kind of put it on hold. I like the whole idea of it and stuff like that. But when it came down to it, it was very early days. I was only about 2 or 3 songs in, and these other projects that I became a part of were obviously much further along than I was.